You're obviously dealing with an injury right now. How are you going to stay connected to this team, despite not being able to be integrated in the same way as everybody else is at this moment?
Just being at practice, watching, keep learning, even though I'm not able to practice, just watching the plays, learning the plays, and just staying connected to my teammates. They've been very supportive. They've been helping me a lot. And yeah.
And then there's a unique kind of situation happening here in that you're coming in with Teresa Weatherspoon. You guys are both rookies in this moment. How do you feel like having that opportunity to grow with your coach is going to benefit this franchise?
I think that's an amazing opportunity. She's a great coach. She was a great player, and just being able to have her, even though she's a rookie, she's just been doing great things since I've been here. She have hella energy. I love her energy, and she just helps me a lot, and she gives me the confidence. I feel like when I was making my transition to the WNBA, I wanted to play for a coach that I could really trust and a coach that would have my back, and she have shown me nothing but that.
Good, Mike.
Hey, Kamilla, you talk about learning now, and obviously, being shelved for a few weeks wasn't the game plan. You wanted to be on the court, getting the W experience, but who's somebody that you're learning from right now or you're excited to learn from throughout the rest of the season, whether that be Izzy or E or whoever?
I would just say all of the players, I feel like they all have something different and some good qualities that I want to learn from and hopefully add to my game. But definitely, she's a vet. She's been here for a long time, so she knows what she's doing. So for me to be able to play behind her and see the things that she's doing, it just helps me learn a lot.
Hey, this is AJ. Kind of building off Mike's question here. What are you looking most forward to in terms of training with another elite shot blocker and Elizabeth, and just how that's going to help you elevate your own game and translate that to this next level?
Just watching the things that she do and try to add to my game. I think I'm a great shot blocker too, and I feel like there's not much more to improve about blocking the shots. But yeah, just looking at her, seeing the great things that she's doing and try to add it to my game.
Hey, Kamilla, Stephen Gardner with CHGO Sports. I'm curious, you had a little bit of time here in the city, obviously coming from South Carolina and even before that from Brazil. I'm curious, what have been your first impressions of the city?
It's amazing. It's beautiful. I love it here, so it's just great.
Hey, Kamilla, Chris Pennant, CHGO. At the moment you were drafted, you got that message from Marta, what she's done for the Brazilian national team and women's soccer in your country. It can't be overstated. What did that mean, to you as kind of a long form, and how has her career impacted your career in any way?
That meant the most to me. I'm a huge fan of her. If I don't know, soccer is the biggest sport in Brazil. And just by seeing a women's soccer player that went this far, it just inspired me to keep working hard. And just knowing that, believing in myself and knowing I wanted to make there someday. And now I'm here and I'm just so proud and thankful that she was able to make me that video.
Thanks.
Hi, Kamilla, it's Sean. Obviously, coming off this 5-week span, it's a lot going from the Final Four to the draft, and then obviously to the start of the season. How have you gone about, just adjusting to all this change going on in your life, just as a whole?
I would say just having my teammates, they've been helping me a lot, like just unpack my stuff, talking to me through this whole transition is very different. WNBA is very different than college. Training camp is really hard. So just by having them, they've been supporting me a lot, Coach Spoon and all the coaching staffs. Yeah, I'll say, yeah.
Thanks.
Hi, Kamilla.
Hi.
You grow up dreaming of the opportunity to play in the WNBA, and you're such a high draft pick, and there's all that excitement. And then what does it feel like to now have to wait because of the injury? How do you deal with those emotions of having to start your rookie season on the bench and have to wait for that opportunity?
I would say it's frustrating. I never got hurt before. I never had to sit out a game before in my life, so it's really frustrating, but I know I got some really good people here that got my back, and I just got to trust God. I believe that everything happened for a reason, even though I don't understand what is the reason maybe right now, but I just got to keep trusting God.
Hi, Kamilla, Sophia from the Ballers Magazine. My question for you is, what are some things that you have learned about yourself throughout this new chapter in the WNBA?
I'll say that I'm a really strong person. I've been through a lot, and now I got here, I got hurt, Yeah, just that I'm a really strong person and I'm very proud of myself.
Hey, Kamilla, Michael Lindeman, Northwestern Medill School, back here. My question for you is, you're part of a rookie class that just revolutionized the sport, its popularity at the college level. What do you think needs to happen in this league for some of that popularity to carry over?
Wait, what you said? Sorry.
You were just part of a rookie, or you're part of a rookie class that just revolutionized the popularity of the sport at the college level, seen with television ratings and so forth. What do you think needs to happen at this level for some of that popularity to carry over?
I think everything that needs to happen is happening right now. As you have seen, we flying charter, which is great because it's really hard to be in airport. Like we got some really great players, some amazing people right here, and everybody want to take pictures. So I think that's really hard. So being able to fly chartered. But I feel like our fans gonna come over and follow us no matter what. It's like me and Reese and all of these girls. We have a lot of fans, and they're gonna come out and gonna support us like we seen yesterday.
Okay, Kyle, Chris.
What does your schedule look like right now as far as your recovery and getting your shoulder back in this 4 to 6 week time span?
So I go to the gym, I do rehab, and then we have like the girls have individual workouts, so I do more rehab, and then I watch practice, after practice, more rehab. So basically just doing rehabs. Also I be in my room, I be trying to do some of the rehabs that the trainers teach me. So I feel like just doing rehabs to get better.
And then, this Sky team is in a rebuild mode. A lot of people are projecting that this team will finish 12th in the league. What do you think this team has that will contribute to potentially a better finish?
I feel like it's very similar to South Carolina. You know, when I was in South Carolina, they say it was rebuilding year, and that's what they're saying about this team. But I think we build an amazing connection, chemistry in like 1 week. I think we're gonna be able to do great things. We all are competitors. We all love to win over here, and we just want to go out there, be a dog, play ball, and do our best to win the game.
Camille, your assistant, Lisa Boyer at South Carolina, she praised your ability to learn fast. And so before your injury, what was it like, training camp, going through that and just kind of incorporating yourself within your new team with a lot of new faces on this team as well?
I would say the first day of training camp for me was definitely really hard because they just threw a whole bunch of plays on us. But I am a really quick learner, and next day I already like knew all the plays. I got to sit down with some of the girls. They teach me, so I'm just excited to be here, excited to keep learning and growing.
Sorry, Kamilla right here. Sorry, I apologize. You talked about people having your back on this team, especially through your injury. And we saw last night in that kind of a game, the excitement and energy coming off of the bench. Can you talk about just any of the players, whether they're younger players or veterans, who were those people who really had your back and kind of given that energy to you?
Literally everybody from the rookies to the vets, everybody had my back since day one, and they always be helping me. So.
Hey, Kamilla, Adam Rittenberg with ESPN. There's obviously a lot of attention around you and Angel. What do you think it'll be like to actually play with her in games after you recover from your injury?
I think it's gonna be amazing. Like I said before, she's a great player and I'm a great player. I'm just excited to go out there with her and see all the great things we can do together.
Chris.
Hey, Kamilla, when you talk about Angel specifically, you go way back to like your high school days playing against her. But do you kind of reflect on that game back in high school and where you are now?
Yeah, much better now, I feel like back then in high school, I couldn't do much. I used to rely on my height, and now like I'm more physical, I'm more confident. So it's just amazing to see how much I grew from high school to now.
Hey, Kamilla. Obviously, at South Carolina, you played for a legendary coach and legendary point guard, Don Staley. Now, naturally, coming to the league, you have an opportunity to do the same with Teresa Weatherspoon. I'm curious, what similarities do you see between the two in terms of personality or leadership or energy?
I don't really like to compare people, but they very similar. I mean, they both had hella energy. Like they want to see you do great. Their personality is really strong, and they big on family, which is something that's really important for me. Like first day I got here, I was talking to Teaspoon, and she was telling me how much she was big on family, and Coach Staley is also big on family. So I think they just competitors. They want to win, and they have a championship mentality. So it's very similar.
Any follow-ups for Kamilla? All right. Thank you. Mike.
Hey, Brynna, yesterday Teaspoon brought up the fact that, injuries aren't going to play a single role into any decision that she makes about who's going to make the roster and who's not. And I know you spoke so vocally about it the other week about, how important it was to have a coach like her for you. What does that mean for you, obviously, that you can just continue your rehab without having to worry about any of the outside entities to it?
Yeah, she's awesome and everything so far that all the conversations I've had with her and all the interactions I've had have just been super positive. So it's really nice just to have kind of takes the pressure off and I can control what I can control and this I can't really control. So I can just focus on my rehab and get back as soon as possible and we'll see what happens from there.
Hi guys, this is for either of you to answer. Since the 2009-2010 season, the average free throw percentage in the WNBA has been higher than the NBA in every single one of those seasons. What do you guys make of that data? Like, do you think that women are better shooters than men?
Well, I know Brynna said for me to take this, but Brynna's the shooter, so maybe she should take it.
I think everyone has their strengths and I think our team last year, like our percentage wasn't that great either. So we're working really hard at improving that. I wouldn't say this is us versus the men. I really don't want to get into that argument. I think both are great sports and both have positives and both need fans, but I wouldn't want to get in that discussion, but we're gonna do our best to have a good free throw percentage this year.
Hey, Brynna, down the line when you're healthy, what kind of impact can you make for the Sky this year?
We'll see what the coaches decide on that, but I like to shoot. That's my strength and just shooting really, if there's a glimmer of space, I'd like to get that thing up there. But I got some great teammates and our team's gonna do really well this year. And we have some shooters. Throughout the game last night, they were just lighting up the floor with those threes. So hopefully I can add to that area.
Taya, Chris Pennant, CHGO. Kamilla and Chennedy and Kysre talked about the chemistry and the energy that's kind of flowing throughout the team. And plus you were back on the bench with your college teammate, Brianna Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Could you talk about that, what that environment's been like and getting the chance to play with her again?
Yeah, actually I played with Marina and Lindsay as well. Little Notre Dame connection. But yeah, I mean, I think the chemistry has been great so far. Obviously it's still early and I mean everybody is really brand new, so I think that it's a testament to the great people that we have for us to come together so quickly and have great chemistry. And I mean that just makes it fun and it makes it easier to just focus on playing. We're not thinking about anything else. Everybody's supporting each other. And Spoon has made that a huge emphasis of like we're a family, so let's be there for each other, let's trust each other, and let's work and build. So it's been great. It's been, it's just fun. It makes it fun. Like, this is a job, but it's like, okay, we enjoy it. We love it because we're here with our family. We're here with our friends and we all get along. So.
Thanks.
This is for Taya and Brynna. My question for you guys is, what has been the biggest off-court adjustment in both your guys' lives since arriving in Chicago?
I would say just coming from college to here, it's more of a job and less of just something fun you do. Obviously it's super fun, but you clock in, you clock out, and then it's just you're kind of on your own. You have to, find a hobby or something, because it's not just school and basketball now. It's like, okay, now it's basketball and you have the whole in life. Yeah, you get the whole city to explore. So just kind of adapting to that and kind of growing up a little bit in that area.
Brynna, you're a high school coach. Brynna, your high school coach, Megan Murray, said it was your dream to play in the WNBA. Is there anything in particular in your first camp that you've learned from the coaching staff or your teammates here?
Literally every single thing that comes out of my teammates and coach's mouth is new and exciting and something to learn. So it gets a little overwhelming at times, but I've already improved so much as a player in the limited time I'm able to be on the court. And I just like every day I feel like I need a notepad just to take notes of everything people are saying, because whether it's a teammate or a coach, everyone has a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge in basketball, and I just want to soak up as much as I can.
Hi, Jonathan, Northwestern. I'm curious, everybody's been talking about how Teresa's been kind of building a culture of family. I'm kind of curious, do either of you have any sort of specific stories of Teresa kind of, you know, building this kind of culture, making you feel like this guy's a big family?
I don't know if I have any like specific story, but I just think it's the way that she speaks to us, the way that she's constantly coaching, even when we're just around and not necessarily on the court, it's the things that she says. And I mean, there have been multiple times that even she's saying, you know, to all of us, like, I'm gonna go to war for you. Like, even if we're not on the court, like if we're just around, like I'm gonna, you know, protect you at all costs. So it's like when you're a head coach and somebody who's, you know, an amazing player, like we all look up to her as a player, and then to have her as a coach and she's, you know, like, I'm fighting for you. So it's like, it's so easy to just be like, okay, we're fighting for you too, and we're fighting for each other because she's setting that standard. So.
Any more for Taya or Brynna?
Hey, Michael Lindemann, Northwestern Middle School. Brynna, I just asked the same question of your teammate Kamilla. You're leaving the college game at a place where it's the most popular it's ever been. What do you think needs to happen at this level for some of that popularity to carry over to the WNBA?
Yeah, I think it already has started. There's been some big names in college who have been able to kind of get us on the map a little bit more, and the fan base is growing fast and quickly. And I think I think some of the vets in the league are doing a great job of kind of crossing the bridge between college and WNBA and kind of bridging that gap a little bit, of making it more of a smoother transition for fans and players. And I think just continue relationships between pros and college athletes was something that will help.
Hey, Taya, I was wondering if you wanted to speak on your own off-court adjustments.
Well, come back to my answer. So I would say like my experience is a little different. I'm technically a rookie to the W, but I have been playing overseas for a while, so I am used to, you know, the professional lifestyle. I would say my biggest adjustment is like being in season and playing in the States because I'm so used to being in season and being, you know, over in Europe. So it's just like an adjustment to be here and, you know, be in season, but have family that's close or friends that are close. And usually I'm like practice and then I'm somewhere in Europe trying to, you know, figure something out. So that's been an adjustment just because that's been so different. And it's cool. I mean, I love to be here. I'm from Indianapolis, so I'm like right down the road. So it's nice to like be at home and like feel like I'm playing at home. So.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm just curious, what is your favorite thing to do right now? Not regarding basketball. What's your favorite thing?
I'm a big show watcher. So just watching shows. I'm currently rewatching Desperate Housewives.
I like to read. I'm trying to get back into reading because it's not for a college textbook now. It's for my own enjoyment. So
better answer. I should have said I read. Watching shows.
We just one up you real quick.
Brynna, this one's for you. You got the chance to play against Courtney Vandersloot, you talked about when your introductory remarks. And you know, your college teammate Kaylin Trong was drafted by Washington. Were you able to talk to Courtney at all? And have you been able to keep up with Kaylin and her experience in training camp?
Yeah, I've talked to Lynn. I think I talked to Lynn every single day for probably like 30 minutes to an hour a day just to kind of compare notes and what she's experiencing and I'm experiencing. And we have pretty similar experiences so far, but it's really a blessing to have another person that I know in the league to kind of just kind of share stuff with and ask questions. And Courtney's awesome. I met her first time when her jersey retirement ceremony at Gonzaga a couple of years ago, and she's just a legend. She like lives in my hometown, and she's just an awesome person and just a better basketball player.
Hi, my name is Annabelle. This one's for Taya. You talked about you played overseas. Now you're here and it's like you're down the road from your home. Can you talk about the atmospheres between playing over there to here?
Yeah, that's a great question. Honestly, I've played in a lot of different countries and a lot of different places overseas. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely very different. Like I've had games overseas where there's like 5 people there. So I mean, it's also great. And, you know, like we've been talking about with just the heightened interest in women's basketball and the W, like it's so cool to be here. Like even last night, I mean, I know that's just, you know, the Skywriters, but it was a great atmosphere and that's so cool. Because again, like I've had games where I'm like crickets overseas. So this is awesome to just have such a great you know, support here. The fans are great and that's just really cool for me because it's different. So
Thank you guys.
thank you.
Is this real?
Chennedy, how would you describe this opportunity with the Sky and this moment for yourself and in your career, you know, being back in the W and again, getting this opportunity on Teresa Weatherspoon's team?
For me personally, this moment is a little bit surreal. Sitting out 6 months, seeing myself come back to Chicago, come here and be embraced and literally able to show my talent, it's amazing. I wasn't able to be me in a lot of places, and I'm truly thankful that Coach Teresa lets me do that here.
Hi, Chennedy. I'm Dominic. Going off of Annie's question, I'm curious of what you learned from playing overseas in Turkey and China, et cetera, just from the games in terms of your play style and bringing it to the W, or you know, just what you learned from that experience?
I just had to grow. I had to grow into a leader and become more mature. I think most of the situations that I've been through, they didn't define me, but they made me stronger. From overseas playing in China and Turkey, I learned to hold my emotions. A lot of things happen in the game that we can't control, but I think that when I was over there, I took the time and I took the steps to literally lock in and just become a better player mentally. So that's where my growth comes from. Also, y'all see on the court, I'm still the same, but really I've took a step with my mental.
Hey, Chennedy, just wondering, you know, you come into an organization right now with so many guards and so many guards that do so many different things, from Dana to Diamond to Marina. What are you most excited about to be in this guard-heavy room and learn from whether it's any of your other teammates?
I'm just excited to see what we can do. I think that we literally have dogs on this team. Everybody's capable of bringing something night in and night out. It could be anyone's night. As you seen last night, it was Marina's night. So I'm really just excited to get out there and just have fun. I mean, our guard play is ridiculous. Dana's super quick. I'm super fast. Kysre can shoot the 3 lights out. I think it's going to be a special season for us. So I'm just excited to play with everyone.
Kysre, just for you too, getting this opportunity to come back to the Sky, how would you describe this moment in your career?
It's very surreal for me. You know, my journey leading back to this moment, one thing that I attest to is that when people see me, I want them to see God through my spirit, to see God through, you know, opposition and placing me in position. You know, I'm a firm believer when you place him first, he handles the rest. And so he has literally prepared me for this moment and during the last season and chapter that I embarked upon to put me here. And I know that as long as I stay disciplined and obedient to him, he's the one that's in charge of outcomes. So I'm truly just embracing this experience and the gift and the opportunity that he has given me to be back here again. It feels like home all over again, but this time better prepared than the first time around.
And then preseason rankings have the Sky, a lot of them at 12. This is a very new look team with a brand new coach. We have not seen really anything from you guys. Why do you disagree with that ranking, and how quickly do you think this team will be able to put it together with Teresa at the helm?
Well, you know, I think that this entire personnel on this team, each one of us has a story, including our coaching staff, you know, with where Spoon comes from as well. So to be able to be a part of a community where we all have the similar interests and similar, stories, and being able to have the same mentality and what our purpose is. I think that's something that defines us beyond the rankings, and that's something that media doesn't have access to. And I think that the people in our organization will flourish with one another because we all can relate and attest to each other, and that will ultimately show on the floor. And that's something that shouldn't be revealed at the beginning of the season, in my opinion.
I think, like she said, we all have a chip on our shoulder. We all have something to prove. In due time, we'll see what the Chicago Sky is all about. But for sure, we want to be the team that hits and punches first. And we want to bring that energy that we brought to New York every game.
Hey guys, kind of an offbeat question for you here, but in every year since the 2009-2010 season, the average free throw percentage in the WNBA has been higher than the NBA. What do you guys make of that data?
I don't know. I think that in the NBA, there's a lot of isolation basketball. I think that for girls, we're more focused on going downhill, running plays, maybe trying to attack. There's a bunch of big girls in the league: Brianna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, Brianna Turner, Brittany Griner. So it's a little bit of different physicality. That's just what I would say. I think, but in the NBA, it's more so one-on-one.
Shit. How y'all doing, ladies?
Hi, how's it going?
All right. I got a question kind of for both of y'all. Just obviously y'all played a lot of basketball, had a lot of different coaches collegiately as well as in the professional. I'm curious, what makes Coach Teresa Weatherspoon unique from any other coach you all have had?
She reminds me a lot of like Nikki Collin. Like, soon as I got here, I just felt an instant connection. She's a player's coach. She's played before. She's been in my shoes. And I think that's why I can connect with her. And I really, yeah, go ahead. I don't want to go too much on it.
Nah, like we can sit up here all day and talk about Spoon, honestly.
She cool, y'all. Like,
yeah, she's the foundation of this organization right now. And her energy is, contagious. It's for us to be able to have access to that every day. I think challenges us and how we can be better, in our personal lives and both on and off the floor. And being able to mimic that, the sky is truly the limit for this organization. I know personally for me, for her to take a chance on me, and I'm sure that everyone else can feel the same. She can relate to what it's like not being chosen first and being able to see the potential. And she became a Hall of Famer from not being chosen first, and just instilling that type of confidence in each one of her players. I think it'll be a joy to watch who gets the opportunity to be able to put on that uniform and not only represent the organization, but most importantly, represent her.
Chris Pennant, CSGO. How you doing, ladies?
Hey.
Could you speak to kind of the changing landscape in the WNBA, the news of charter flights coming out a couple of days ago, as opposed to, even the short time ago that you both came in the league, and how you see that developing with the CBA coming up and just the news of increased revenue, payroll? How do you see that manifesting? I know it's not a season question, but kind of a long-term thing.
I just appreciate the growth. I mean, I know it's long overdue. We're all working, we're all players. If they're trying to make travel and everything easier and better for us, I appreciate it. I'm a kid that really doesn't come from much, so I'm thankful for whatever the W is trying to make and do for us, honestly. That's my opinion.
Yeah, likewise, I think sometimes we lose sight of the process and not realizing that's ultimately where the journey occurs and where it happens. And it's instead of being so fixated on the outcome of what the problems need to, be done, the fact that that's even a conversation and we're making changes to get there, I think that's ultimately the integrity of what the changes are happening right now at this moment.
Hey guys, this is for both of you. Kenny, you mentioned the being mentally different, just kind of in this next chapter of your career. But for both of you, how difficult is it in a league that's sort of so difficult to earn a roster spot? How difficult is it to just be better mentally and just kind of grow in that way?
I think you have to tune out the outside noise. I think there's a lot of things that can throw you off your game or really take you outside of what the goal is. And sometimes you have to say no to things. Sometimes you have to be mentally strong. And I think that's where my growth is personally. I'm just trying to separate myself this season and be better than I've ever been.
I think she said it perfectly. When we live in a world of social media, sometimes people forget that there is a reality and that just because you have a platform to, voice your opinions doesn't mean that it's always valid. And so being able to be in an organization where a coach chooses, hand selects who she wants to be able to orchestrate her team, ultimately, whatever she asks for one of us to do, we have to be able to honor that role and do it to the best of our ability. It's not about what we think that we can do. Obviously, being in this league, everyone can play. But what is it that you do differently amongst the rest, and do you do it better, and can you do it with the style of play of what I'm asking you for? And that's ultimately the opinion that matters the most.
Chennedy, for you, you mentioned earlier you haven't always been able to be yourself. And so how has kind of Teresa kind of empowered you in that aspect? And what does it mean, for you to be able to be yourself on the court?
I just play loose. I just feel like I can really be me. Like, I don't have any thoughts. I'm not worried about getting pulled out the game. I'm not worried about if I'm doing too much. I just feel like she really allows me to be me, but not even just in a basketball aspect, the person Chennedy Carter. A lot of people don't know who I am. A lot of people haven't even took the time to really get to know me. So just to be myself around the team every day and just pour into these girls, I'm thankful that I'm here, honestly. Y'all, it's crazy to be out of the league and be somewhere where you're wanted, you're loved, and they appreciate you. I'm so thankful for this opportunity.
Thanks.
Hey, Angel, this is AJ from Northwestern Medill. Getting the chance to play next to a couple elite shot blockers and like Elizabeth and Kamilla, how does that sort of complement your game, especially on the rebounding and like the defensive side of the ball? And how does that elevate your game on that end?
Yeah, kind of going into the game last night, Coach Sydney had told me I had guarded 6'7", Kamilla obviously for a while now, and just being able to stay strong and go up. I mean, I am only 6'3", but I kind of have a heart of a lion. And knowing how talented Jonquel is and talented Stewie is, trying to just play the smart game because obviously they know I'm a rook. So just being able to get around them as best as I can, eye the ball. I'm an amazing rebounder. And if my offensive game isn't going, I'll get going rebounding and defense. So just trying to do that. I think my first basket last night was an offensive rebound and trying to go up over Jonquel, obviously not to get my shot blocked. So it was a good test for me just to be able to see the things that I can do, but also things that I still need to work on.
Hey, Angel, appreciate the time. I know we talked about it the other day in your introduction about, how excited you were to be here and, like not to gas you up, but like it's been perfect as far as what everybody's been saying about you as a teammate and as a player. To hear all the outside noise though from the media and how they treat the differences between male athletes and female athletes and what they do in their spare time or social media, how do you cancel out the noise and just focus on yourself?
Do everything I continue to do, prove everybody wrong. I mean, I've done that on continuous times. I mean, improving last night, a lot of people told me I shouldn't have went to the Met Gala. I wasn't going to be focused playing against the runner-ups. And I went to the Met Gala, slayed the Met Gala in New York, came back, slayed against New York. Like, it's what I do. I mean, obviously, I give a lot of confidence to so many different people. And knowing like I'm not one-dimensional. Women don't have to be one-dimensional. They don't have to do one thing. And I think just continue to emphasize on that. And I think that's what's growing the game. People love me off the court too. Like they love me because I am who I am and I speak on things that a lot of people may be scared to speak on or stand up on. So just continue to do that, even on the bad days, even on the days that people may hate me. I'm just going to continue to keep being me.
Angel, the Sky are entering this new era, with Teresa Weatherspoon. So what has it been like to be able to be coached by her? And what makes her the right coach to lead the Sky into this new era?
Yeah, I mean, I love Coach Spoon. She's kind of like Coach Mulkey, being able to be a tough coach that you have to have thick skin. You also have to be willing to be coached by her. Being able to know she pays attention to detail. She's a legendary coach, a legendary player. So just being able to come into a league where I'm new, so I'm learning from her. We're kind of learning from each other too because she's new to Chicago as well. So I'm just excited to just soak up everything that I can from her and just continue to just be a sponge.
Angel, you mentioned that you're not one-dimensional and you have outside interests outside of basketball. Is there anyone that showed you that you can do all these things and still succeed on the court? And then also, what kind of platform do you feel like you have to show others? Like, you don't just have to be a basketball player.
I don't think we had like the resources obviously before that NIL and stuff. I've always watched Lisa Leslie. She always had her lashes, nails, and hair and all that stuff done. So just being able to look at that, for me, I've always loved taking pictures. I've always loved modeling. And growing up, my grandma always just had me my lashes and hair and stuff like done up. So I was like, I always felt like I wanted to be the cute, pretty girl on the court, but like I wanted to also be a dog and have that dog mentality. So I just want to continue that, like let women understand and know like you can do both. You can be girly on the court and have lashes and nails and hair done, but on the court, it's no competitors. People know when they play against me, like it's no friends. You see me and Kamilla compete for years, and now we're teammates, and just being able to see like a dynamic duo now. So it's never personal, but like on the court, I'm about my business, but off the court, like we can have some fun. We can have fun.
Angel, you talked about canceling out the outside noise and all the criticism. I imagine there was a time maybe coming up through your career where the stuff sort of bothered you, you let it get to you. How did you get through that, and how have you sort of learned to cancel out all that noise?
Yeah, kind of just standing strong on who I am. I have a lot of great people around me. My mom, my team is amazing, and then my support system from back home. So being able to have great things around me, it takes a lot to really break me, obviously. But I mean, everybody, you got to check on your strong friends. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. And gone through a lot and learned from so many mistakes and grown, but just being able to just continue to just get up every day and just stay positive and know that when one door closes, another one opens, and just having a positive mentality every day.
Angel, the outside expectations may not be high, but I know you guys feel differently within your locker room. But I'm curious for you and Kamilla specifically, the opportunity to come in at a time when the franchise is growing. How do you view that opportunity that you two guys have to build something here?
Yeah, just knowing two great players coming in as rookies and learning from a great place. I mean, they just won a championship in 2021. So we're just trying to continue that and build off of that. And just bring the winning culture back here. That's what we came here to do. Obviously, we already had some players on the team from last year, and they talked to us and said the expectations. I mean, Diamond was on the championship team, so she knows what it takes. And we're coming in as rookies, and yeah, we have a lot of expectations outside, but we're still trying to learn this game. We're still new to this league and just trying to figure everything out too. So we're just going by the flow and just still figuring things out.
Hi, Angel.
How you doing?
So some of your fellow teammates that have talked to us already have been saying that Teresa has been great at kind of developing a culture of just like family and closeness and sticking together. I'm curious, do you have any specific stories of Teresa kind of helping you kind of become part of the Sky family and kind of, you know,
Man, my first conversation with her on when I was talking to teams during the draft process, I knew I wanted to come to Chicago immediately. Like just I felt understood, I felt loved, and she didn't even she didn't know me. She didn't know me, I didn't know her, but like we had a conversation on the phone where I felt like she was like a mom. Like I knew like I will always be good with her and she will always be there for me through everything. So just being able to have somebody that understands me as a Black woman that looks like me, know kind of what I've been through, understands me from that perspective. And then on the court, you know, she's been a great player. So I'm getting both. I'm getting everything I ever wanted here. I mean, I wouldn't rather be nowhere else than Chicago. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think this is a perfect place for me, a perfect fit for me on and off the court.
Angel, there were some scouts after you were drafted talking about how you needed to develop an outside shot and that you would be undersized. But in the first couple preseason games, you've been doing a lot of what you did in college: offensive rebounding, scoring in the paint. Is the outside shot something that you've discussed with Coach Weatherspoon? Is that something that you're trying to add to your game, or are you pretty content with doing what you did in college?
I mean, I continue to grow my game and show my game. I took a jump shot the first game. So it's no limitations to what I can do, and just being able to do what I've done in college and still being able to work at the next level obviously shows that I can continue to do that. But just being able to, of course, I'm not settling to be who I am right now. I want to always grow my game, and I work out with Coach Teaspoon every single day, and having a coach that wants to work with me every day. And yeah.
Hey, Angel.
How you doing?
Thank you. How are you?
Good.
Good. So last night, Caleb Williams, Robin Dunze, but Kobe White were at the game, kind of taking in everything. You and Kamilla are also part of this new look Chicago. I mean, a lot of young stars coming in with a chance to kind of energize the city sports wise. I mean, what are your thoughts of just being a part of this group of young athletes that could take the city by storm, honestly?
Yeah, it's so much fun. Obviously I know Kayla from back home, and having those kind of conversations, talking about we can turn the city up and do so many great things while we're here. And it's just great being able to bring that winning culture back to Chicago in all sports, not just the football, like everybody, and baseball as well. So just being able to have a city that's winning and everything, and knowing everybody loves you from all different kinds of sides. So being able to just come together as a community for the right thing is something that I've always emphasized on as well.
Angel, just along those lines, you've played in a lot of big time games, a lot of celebrities. What can this scene turn into in your mind this year and beyond the Sky Games here at Wintrust?
Courtside. I mean, everybody gonna be courtside. The celebrities gonna be courtside. Just know, like, the who's gonna be courtside. I was just talking. I was at the Met Gala, and Usher gonna try to come up to a game in Vegas, and Cardi B, and I know some people that y'all might not think I know, but I know.
Hey, Angel.
How you
How you
doing?
doing? I'm good. How about you?
Good. How are you?
All right. Last time we spoke, you talked about how you played more on the wing in high school. Obviously, in college, you played a lot more at the 5. Now it seems like you're playing a little bit more 4 in the W so far. I'm curious, that versatility is different.
Yeah.
But what makes your particular versatility different?
Just being able to get the rebound and put the ball on the floor. I think I have a lot of quickness around the basket, and even just getting up and down the court. I can guard all 5 positions, as you can see. I mean, I can switch on point guards and get steals. That's just something I love to do. Being able to play 6'7", 6'8" any night. Obviously, the strength might not be there, but I have a really good mentality of just being able to make smart moves, make smart deflections and passes and stuff. So, just being able to have, I'm really like open to anything. I'm obviously open to playing whatever position my coach puts me at. Sometimes, like last night, I had to play the 5 because Kamilla was down. Kamilla definitely would have taken on JJ if she could have played for sure, and I could play more than 4. So I've always been down to do whatever for the team. And like I said, I'm going to continue to work on my game and continue to do things that can help me and help this team.
Hi, Angel. Shakia Taylor, Chicago Tribune. I've noticed that ever since you got in Chicago, you've immediately dived into the city's culture. Who is your tour guide? Where are you learning the slang? How can we help you get involved in that culture a little bit more?
I just be posting on Twitter what I be wanting to do. So like if I want some good food, I'll post on Twitter what's the good spots, and everybody will just lead me to the spot. Hair, nails, lashes. Everybody's been so sweet, so nice to me. So I don't know. I'm just going with the flow. I'll go with my teammates. I don't go with randoms. No. I don't go with randoms. I'm sorry, I can't do that. But yeah, my teammates go a lot of places with me, and I try to take them as many places as I can too, because we're all new to this. A lot of us are new to the city, so just doing as much as we can together. I don't have any sisters, so this is like a sisterhood for me.
Angel, what has it been like? Last time Dana started playing with her, having her as, the point guard of the team. What has that been like just in training camp and then in the game situation?
Me and Dana are like, we have like fun personalities. We like to get into it, get in with the crowd, get in and be super competitive too. So I love Dana. She's been a great vet to me. All the vets have been really great to me. But just being able to have somebody that has been here again and understands the culture here and what she wants to bring back into Chicago. So I love Dana. And I think she's led this team in a great direction so far.
Hi, Angel. Hi, Jasmine. How were you able to build the trust with Coach Weatherspoon in such a short amount of time to where she can trust you to go to the Met Gala on Monday and still show up for the game the following day?
Just being able to have faith in me. Obviously, I would have known if I didn't perform last night. I knew she probably wouldn't have said nothing to me, but I already knew back in the back of my head what Coach Mulkey would have thought. So she gives me Coach Mulkey, but she don't say as much as Coach Mulkey. But I already knew the expectations going into it. Like, I need to be locked in, obviously, and focus on my matchups. I took my matchups seriously. I watched film when I was on the plane, and I didn't take anything off. I wanted to get back. People at the Met Gala like, you partying after this? I said, no, I got a game tomorrow. Like, I got to watch film, and I prioritize everything. I'm still in school as well, so I got a busy schedule of a lot going on. But like I said, you got to maximize your 24 hours.
Absolutely. And is there any special moments that you would like to share at the Met that made Monday's hustle worthwhile?
I did all my hair and makeup on the plane. So I got a private plane, and being able to get on there. Both of my girls and one of my friends got on the plane with me. All four of us got on there and doing hair and makeup on the plane, blow drying and flat iron, and doing everything on the plane, which was crazy, but it turned out great, as you can see.
Hey, Angel, Michael Lindemann, Northwestern Middle School. I've asked the same question of your fellow rookies. You're leaving the college game at a point where it's never been more popular. I'm curious how you think some of that popularity can carry over to the NBA, how you can ride that wave of this latest college season.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, so many people love women's basketball. I think it was only season ticket holders in the place last night, and there were so many people there. So games are gonna be packed. I mean, I feel like standing room only. Sometimes we might get those, or I think we're moving from different arenas. I think they just told us that when I go back home to Washington, we're playing where the Wizards play. So you got to see the changes happening, and I think it's not going to stop here. It's going to continue to grow. We're in a great direction. The charter flights, being able to have that's a step in the right direction. And, the CBA stuff is about to happen within next year too. So just understanding the gravitation that we have right now, and everything is in our hands right now to control. And as long as we continue to keep going up and doing the right things, I think things are going to continue to grow. Thank you, guys.
Hey guys, appreciate the time. I just kind of want to capitalize off what you already talked about this morning. Candace Parker being named the president of women's Adidas basketball. What does that mean for you as not only an Adidas athlete, but just as a woman in sports, seeing her be able to do what she's been doing on both the ESPN level and obviously now in the game?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows how multi-dimensional she is, and it's also a testament to how multi-dimensional players can be. And I think it's a great indicator of what's to come for female athletes and, expanding their brand outside of the sport. And it's also cool just to see her longevity with the Adidas brand. And I'm excited just for the growth of the brand and for her too.
Hi, guys. This is for either of you to answer. Free throw shooting is one of the only skills in basketball that's really the same between the men's and women's game, same distance, no defender. But in the past 14 years, the average free throw percentage of the WNBA has been higher than the NBA in every single one of those years. What do you guys make of that? Why do you think that is?
At the end of practice, we do free throws and not dunks. Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Elizabeth, this question's for you. It's AJ from Northwestern Medill. There's been a lot of roster turnover this past off season, but you guys have brought in Kamilla, who's Defensive Player of the Year last year in college, and then Angel Reese, who's also been prolific rebounder. Could you speak to this team's potential on the defensive side of the ball as one of the defensive leaders, and what would it take for the team to get to that level?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of defense is effort, but it's also good to have some size. I mean, I can't remember the last time we had someone of Kamilla's size around. So I think both of them have done a really good job of just being sponges and absorbing and playing hard. And, it's a tough league. There are players that can score, and Teaspoon is also a defensive-minded coach. So I think our coaching staff does a good job of teaching the principles that we need on defense. And then at the end of the day, you just got to play the games and adjust.
Hi, Elizabeth. Sort of following up on that. Kamilla was talking earlier about how you were one of the people that was really helping her adapt to the next level. So I'm wondering how you and some of your teammates are, helping the rookies adapt to the WNBA.
Yeah, we're just doing our best. I think we want the rookies to have a good experience. I mean, I think about my rookie year and how, how I viewed the vets and kind of almost being intimidated by them. Whereas I think now I want people to feel comfortable asking questions, to feel like they can, be their best selves and be honest with themselves and with us. So, I take pride in that. And I just want them to be true to who they are so that they can feel comfortable on the floor and feel like they can play with that confidence because, we need everybody that's on the team and that includes the young players.
Hi, Elizabeth. I'm Noah. What has it been like for you trying to lead your younger teammates over the years while adapting to the shifting WNBA landscape yourself?
Yeah, it's shifting and shifting very quickly as we're seeing sometimes in a matter of hours and days. So just being adaptable is big. I feel like being in the league this many years, the only constant thing is change. And I think I've really started to understand that and, really tried to embrace what my leadership style looks like and just, like I was saying before, allow people to be themselves and feel comfortable and, remind them that changes happen, but change is, part of growth.
Marina, Chris Pennon from CHGO. Questions for you. At exit interviews last year, you talked about being able to handle physicality more, working more downhill, and also just kind of giving yourself grace. That was a theme for the team last year. How'd that manifest playing overseas with Machine, with Elizabeth, and in that these 2 games in the preseason?
Yeah, just spending time being able to absorb contact, getting in the gym and getting stronger. So I'm ready for that, body wise. And then just like mentally knowing that contact is part of the sport and just trying to get my angles right so I can excel offensively and defensively. And then just being overseas, like playing with E. She's such a calm, great leader. So I think in times it helped me a lot to, she'll say, what you're saying is right, but I think you could say it like this, or just stuff like that, or we need you to do this right now. Don't get involved with the rest, stuff like that, where it kind of makes me realize things that can impact the game without being distracted. So
you did great.
Thanks.
This is kind of for both of you guys. Just having played with Dana last season, this season she's getting shot to start. Just kind of so far, what growth have you seen from her? On and off the court as a player and as a leader.
Yeah, I mean, we know well Dana had a really good overseas season, and it starts there. I think players build a lot of confidence being able to play against really good competition, and also figure out how they can lead and dominate games in different ways. And I think Dana's done a good job of that. And we saw glimpses of it last season, and hopefully this is a big opportunity for her to build on that and to understand, the importance of the point guard role. I think having LA here as well, just to challenge her and, compete with her and also lead her is going to be really effective for us and for Dana to have some success.
Hey, I'm Dominic. This is for Elizabeth, but Chennedy spoke yesterday how she believes that you've been somebody that's been in her corner since she, stepped into the W, and she was really appreciative of the sort of mentorship that you've given her in the first few years in Atlanta. How has it been for you to sort of reunite with her now here in Chicago?
Yeah, it's been cool. Anytime you can see a player's growth, like on and off the court, is really rewarding. And, I'm really glad that Chicago is taking an opportunity or taking a chance on her so that she has this opportunity. And I think she's taken advantage of that. I think, she's matured and she wants the best for the team. And so, as vets, we're going to do our best to put her in positions to be successful. And so, I'm glad she said that about me, but yeah, she's doing really well.
Elizabeth, you mentioned the changes in WNBA. There's obviously been changes in college with NIL. Angel was talking about taking a private plane to the Met Gala. How does the rookie experience maybe change for some of these players coming in now versus when you first came into the league?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a completely different rookie experience from sharing hotel rooms to travel to everything. Like what
the shared hotel room is insane.
Yeah, like I mean, you had to have 5 years of service. That was, yeah. But Yeah, I mean, it's just a testament to the people that have been putting the work in for a very long time. I mean, I think about NECA as president of our union. I think about, when Catch was president, like there have been so many influential players that have been fighting, and even on the college level, right? Like the fact that NIL is a thing, like all of these lawsuits that have existed on that level, and then, having that carry over into professional sports for women, like all of those things are significant. And I think we're finally seeing, the benefits of the fact that Angel's playing a national championship game on ABC or ESPN, like all of that matters and all of that adds up. And at the end of the day, like this is what we want. And, I'm grateful to be a part of a league that sees that vision and sees that growth. And hopefully now, after we've been screaming it from the rooftops, investors understand that and companies understand that, and it just continues to skyrocket.
Nice.
Hey y'all, I think what's unique about the women's side of basketball is that the overseas season presents an opportunity to get game reps against different types of opponents. For you two, obviously you spent that time together this past overseas season. I'm curious, where have you seen your two-player game grow, and kind of what have you seen growth individually from one another as well?
Sorry.
Well, we had a really high usage in pick and roll overseas, and I think it kind of translated into some chemistry over here. Just, E setting great screens for me, knowing what I like to do, and then me also putting E in good positions where she can be successful too. So that's always good to get extra reps, especially because this was my first time playing with E before last year. So that was great.
Yeah, I mean, she said it well, just getting reps in, finding spaces on the floor, where to be, being able to communicate with each other. And also like just seeing how she was working, like whether it was on her game, on her body. I know she set the goal of making sure that she was stronger and more physical. And I have no doubt in my mind that she's that, because I've seen the work that she put in. And so it's cool for me to actually like physically be around and see it and like be able to support her as she's, trying to achieve her goals.
Hi, Marina. Hi, Elizabeth. Some of your teammates have been talking about how Teresa's been able to build such a kind of strong family culture. I'm kind of curious, how have you guys seen Teresa kind of build that culture, and how does it compare to, say, last year and now that Teresa's coming in? Kind of what strategies is she implementing to kind of build this strong culture in the team?
I mean, I think she's building it based on the nature of who she is. Like she has built her basketball and coaching career on being an extreme competitor, and being someone that, people often count out, but she wants to build a culture here where we compete every single day, because that's just that's what she does. And so it's cool that we're able to have this fresh start and establish this culture early and try to build something really special with someone as impactful as her.
Hi, ladies. I'm Alicia. This is for both of you. What have you guys learned that helps you maintain self-care off the court to avoid burnout, basically, and also to keep the passion up, to maximize on that passion you have on the game when you go onto the court?
I think balance is key in everything. So whatever it is for you, like personally, I like to get massages, get facials, and like take care of me and how I look, and it makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself. But like for anybody, it's just your whole life can't be about basketball, because then you don't have any release or outlet, and then that's where the burnout happens. So just trying to be that leader for the team and say, hey, this is something that's going to be important, self-care, blah, 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 to people who are just coming in the league and may not know, it can get out of balance quick.
Yeah, I mean, balance is definitely key. I know for me, self-care can look like just catching up with friends, because we're away for so long and we're constantly on the move. And like sometimes just checking in with old friends is like a real refresher for me. And like journaling, meditating, and I also have a therapist that I see. And so just checking in with her, like finding, things that I can work on to make sure that my mind is in the right space. And I'm also thankful for the mental health resources that we have as a team as well. You know, having a team psych and you know, having people we can reach out to, I think is really important.
Hey, Elizabeth, you touched on this earlier about how things have changed in the WNBA, going from sharing hotel rooms, things like that. But yesterday's announcement about the charter flights, how much of a surprise was that for you that they announced it then? And, you know, how much did you think that was going to happen this year?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting it. I am glad that the league was proactive. We're in a time where, I mean, Angel has 3 million followers. She has a spotlight on her that none of us have, and we don't have anything to compare it to. And rather than having an incident occur, I think this is the proactive take. And I'm pretty sure Kathy's going to want to have a call with players and the union and just explain what it's going to look like. And then I'll have more for you once we actually do have that conversation and talk through what it is. But yeah, I mean, charters are huge, just for recovery, for safety, for just being a professional. Like, I think it's so significant.
Elizabeth, Chris Penn, CHGO. There's been a lot of talk about guard play as well as kind of point forward, what Angel can bring to the table. But last night she had a takeaway, open floor, solo, fast break. At this point in your career, is that something you're looking to add? Kind of that lead guard type of mentality?
Yeah, I mean, I can handle the ball. I think playing this long, I can dribble a little bit. So, yeah, just turning defense into offense a little bit. Turning defense into offense is huge. And honestly, like, we have guards like Marina that they're probably going to get trapped a lot, you know? And so being able to make decisions out of ball screens, handle it, make reads, like that's really big. And so hopefully I can continue to do that.
Hopefully I can keep dribbling.
Hopefully I can dribble, yeah.
Continue my dribbling play. I'm dead.
Hey, Marina, last question for you. I know we talked a little bit about it last night. The sleeve wasn't a long-term thing you said, but you were gonna give it some try. And I know you shot the lights out the ball last night, media day. You know, you're taking photos with it on. Is it gonna be a long-term thing?
All right, let's like not jinx it, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of like it. Adds a little something to the uniform because I feel like I'm so bare, but you know, can't go wrong with a little bit of swag.
Yeah. Thank you.
What an end. What a finish.
Hi, Dana. I'm Noah. You had a career year last season, doubling career highs in points, assists, and steals.
Oh.
Does that allow you more confidence coming into a new season than you might have had in years past?
It does. Yes, I feel more comfortable in my position. I feel like I'm more confident and just ready to take on this role for this team this year.
Hey, Dana, I know it's Jumpman for life. You're rocking with Jordan, but Candace Parker was just announced the president of Adidas Women's Basketball. What does that mean for you, not only from a former teammate of hers and a friend, but as a woman in sports, to be able to have a mind like hers in the building?
I mean, she just sets the bar so high, like seeing everything that she's done on the court and now just seeing what she's doing off the court is big for us. Like I know it just won't stop for her. She's just going to continue to be great in everything she does. And I'm so excited and happy for her with this life after basketball for her. She's going to be great in everything she do.
Dana, what has it been like through training camp, 2 preseason games being coached by Teresa Weatherspoon and, you know, starting last night? What has all of that kind of been like for you and just being able to grow, continue your growth and learn from her?
It's been great. I've been talking a lot about her energy and how she just breathes confidence in each and every one of her players and how she really just pays attention to details. It's exciting and it just makes us want to really play hard for her and win games for her because she's such a great coach and a great person as well. Like she's genuine and that makes you just go hard. Thank you. Hey, Dana.
Hi.
First question is for you. As the person who on the team who is the closest to being from Chicago as anyone, what is your role become in guiding all of the people who are new to the area? And what's that been like? Well, I feel like it's hard right now just because the season kind of just kicking
off, and we're trying to make sure that we're really focused on why we're here. So I haven't really been able to do much outside of basketball with them yet. But we got a lot of new faces, and like you said, I'm the closest one, so I'll be here if they need anything. But for now, we just focusing on the basketball stuff.
Izzy, Shakia Taylor, Chicago Tribune. Nice to meet you. This is your first season really being with the team this way. What has that transition been like for you? And what has it been like working with Spoon in that transition back in?
Yeah, I was here a little bit last year for maybe like 2.5 weeks, and I just kind of dipped out. But I got really familiar with just the city of Chicago last year and obviously the girls. So that was good to have. And then coming back this year after having like a full year essentially of rehabbing and just getting ready to be back on the court, it's been good. Teaspoon has like, ever since she accepted the role, she's been like encouraging me and just making sure I'm okay as a person. You know, oftentimes as basketball players, we can just get viewed as what we do and produce, but she's making sure I'm good on a human level. And to have a coach like that, it's like I'll run through a wall for her, because you don't find that too often. And she was a player as well. So having her to just be alongside of me with this rehab and just transitioning back onto the court, it's been everything.
Hi, ladies. Sean Grandy, Northwestern Medill. Obviously going from, the Final Four to the draft, and then obviously the season starting now. How have you guys helped the rookies kind of, adjust to the speed of the game, this different level of, playing, in the WNBA overall?
So for me, I just make sure I tell them, don't get too high and don't get too low, because this is the best league in the world. You're not gonna be at your best all the time. Sometimes you're not gonna be doing what you're used to doing. So just making sure that you know that this is a quick season and you don't have much time to dwell on a bad game or a bad loss. You got to be able to move on fast because you play the next 2 or 3 days. So just having that mindset and just kind of being there for them. Like whenever they need me, I'm always there if they got questions or whatever that looks like for them. But I feel like our rookies, they pretty much, they got it figured out, but we've been here to help as much as we can.
We'll go Chris, Steven, Robbie, then John.
Izzy, Chris Pennon with CHGO. Following that Candace retirement, somebody posted a tweet saying that you were the last person who had graduated with Pat Summitt. And you had that response that was kind of touching for me, having watched those games when the nascence of the Tennessee-Connecticut rivalry. Could you talk about what that was like playing with that Tennessee team with Pat, and how you've seen the game evolve from your time in college to now on the court and off?
Yeah, I hate that I kind of found that out through Twitter, because when I read it, obviously I was still like, dang, Candace is leaving. And then it's like, now, boom, I'm the last player coached by Pat Summitt. And just to have such a legendary coaching experience, that is something like you could never replace. And obviously, I know she's so proud of us and obviously the Lady Ball legacy, but yeah, it hurt a little bit. I definitely will say that. But I would say, and somebody asked me this the other day, with that now being the situation, you do see this new era of basketball coming in. But I think the one thing that hasn't changed is the grittiness that Pat has coached in the SEC, but women's basketball in general, caring about defense, wanting to get stops, like holding your head high in those aspects. So I think that's something that carries along in this new age. But even like a player like Candace was with Pat, and like you still see big guards that are post now. And I think that's something that obviously Pat helped cultivate to bring into the new game. So there's still touches of Pat in there, and I just want to make her proud and continue to build on her legacy.
Hey ladies, how y'all doing today?
Hey, good.
All right. My first question is gonna be for Dana. It's gonna kind of be 2 in 1. So the first one being, what have you learned about your leadership and the time that you spent growing into your role from last season to this season, as well as overseas? And then also, what are you looking to improve upon most this upcoming season?
Okay. For the leadership one, I would say just also leading by example as well. Showing them that I'm always going to be working hard and I'm always going to be doing what I need to do. Leading by example is important, as well as communicating. I feel like I've been very vocal, and just knowing what the coaches want, so I can make sure that I want to be an extension of the coach on the court. So just knowing what she wants and making sure that everybody is comfortable out there and putting them in positions to be successful is something that I'm really focusing on this year too. And that kind of answers your second one. Point guard wise, I feel like I just want to make the right decisions. I think getting people in catch and shoot positions, getting diamond and rip drive situations in Chennedy Carter because they're so explosive and they can get to the basket, getting Marina in some stagger screens and getting her open looks is going to be important for me this year. I feel like, because I feel like I can get my shot off when I need to and when I have to, but focusing on other things like that. And obviously defense is something that I'm going to be really focused on this year too. I feel like that pushes our team and that it starts with me. So just seeing me picking up 94 feet and being into everybody. It's crazy. They got to feed off of it. They don't have a choice. Like, so yeah, it started with me and I'm excited to take on this role and I'm going to be the best that I could be.
And then for Izzy, just kind of speaking to the front court group as a whole, what have been your assessments of like the abundance of versatility that y'all have compiled?
I mean, I feel like we got everything we need. Like, we got the height, we got the skill, we got the energy, just the defense. And just to go into like a post group like that, it's just like, it's comforting because it's like if something happens or whatever the case may be, you have somebody ready to step in right after that to be ready to, take the assignment. So overall, I feel comfortable with the group.
Hi, guys. For the past 14 years, the average free throw percentage in the WNBA has actually been higher than the NBA. And I asked Marina Mabrey about this, and she kind of jokingly said, well, maybe it's because we're practicing free throws at the end of practice and they're practicing dunks. What do you think it kind of says about the fundamentals that you guys work on, or why do you think that data exists?
I think it sometimes just get overlooked because we don't dunk the basketball. But at this level, you have to be really, really talented and really gifted. I think everybody at this level is super skilled. And I do think it helps that we shoot free throws after practice. And I feel like we just make sure we key in on that because it's important. Like, you can win and lose a game off free throws. So yeah, I think it's just important to do it after practice when you're tired. Don't just do it when you're fresh because that's easy when you're in a game flow, practicing them. So.
Hey, Dana as well. I know you mentioned they haven't mentioned the specifics yet, but the fact that yesterday they announced there's going to be charter flights, for the league, I can see your reaction right there. How surprised were you that they announced it then? And I mean, obviously it's necessary and it's been wanted, but why specifically do you think it's really going to help with the growth of the league?
It's going to help for one, just timing wise. I feel like you lose a whole day when you flying commercial. Like, we have an off day, but we're flying at 10 or 11 a.m. and we getting back around 1, 2, 3 and you're tired. So it's really not an off day. It doesn't count. I feel like we'll get a lot more rest using the charter flights. I think that was the biggest focal point on that, is resting, because we play so many games in short amount of times. We need those days off to really like focus on our body and what we need to do.
I had one more quick one for y'all. So obviously with so much newness around the team, I think it's getting a lot of attention, but I think maybe one of the biggest and most impactful is that you all will now be being coached by a Black woman in the league that's predominantly Black. I was just curious, what have been your early observations of having Teaspoon there, and just how, I want to compare it to other situations, but how different has it been in uniqueness from the coaches you all have had in the past?
I would say it's really refreshing to have a coach that she doesn't feel like she has to come in and fix us. Like, she is a head coach, her first year as a head coach, and coming into a league that she's familiar with, but obviously it's different from when she played. And she doesn't feel like she needs to fix us. She just allows us to be our own players, and she just enhances that by her energy and obviously guidance and IQ. But she just allows us to be who we are. And for me, I've been in the league for a while now, and to have a coach like that that just lets you take a breath and like be who you are as a player, it's refreshing because it brings the best out of everybody. And I think you guys saw last night, we were just ourselves. We were having fun. We didn't have to overthink it. We worked with one another, and that all comes from her just letting us play. And yeah, it's been very refreshing.
Dana, for you, just kind of you having success overseas, averaging 20 points. What did you kind of hope to take from that experience and bring here? And just kind of what did you work on? What allowed you kind of have that success overseas?
I think it just really started with confidence with me. I think when I'm not thinking and I'm just hooping, I'm at my best. And just remembering the work that I put in it's gonna pay off. And yeah, and like I said, just having a coach that really just believes in you and breeds confidence in you is, like she said, is so refreshing. And I just feel like I got a little bit more freedom this year. You have to earn it. Like, I'm not saying I should have had that or anything, because you have to earn it. You got to put your time in. And I feel like I have. So I'm ready for the challenge and I'm excited for that.
For you, Dana, this is essentially an entirely new roster than when you arrived in Chicago originally. How do you adjust to that level of roster turnover?
I would just say, I mean, that's this business now. Like, people, they're gonna come and go, and you just got to be ready and being ready to adjust to any situation. And I feel like we have a great group, a group that feels like they've been underestimated. I feel like a lot of us kind of playing with a chip on our shoulder because we feel like we have something to prove. So yeah, I think that's just gonna make us go so much harder. And Teaspoon also has a chip on her shoulder. This is her first year and she wants to do good, and we want to help her do good. We want to make her look good. So yeah, I feel like just being adjustable and being able to adjust to what you have.
Dana, Chris Penn, CHGO. Started your career at Dallas, then came to Chicago that same year, won a championship, and then the last 2 years over here, changing rosters and kind of changing outcomes of the season, plus playing in Hungary, and then the 2 years, especially this last one with Besiktas, where you were kind of given the keys to the team. Have you had a space to reflect on what your career has been like over these last 4 years and where you wanted to go?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just always like living in the moment. Like, I try to just be present. I try to just be where my feet are, but I'm blessed, obviously. Like, I'm really blessed to be in this position. And I feel like my first year was a roller coaster. Like you said, I was drafted to Dallas and then I got traded and then I came here and then we won the championship. Like, that was perfect. But yeah, I would just say, just for me, I like to just be present and not kind of think about the past or the future. I like to just be where my feet are.
You've obviously been in different places. You've seen this league evolve. How do you think the experience game-wise will change with some of the players coming into the league, like Angel, like Caitlin, who have these big celebrity-type followings?
Say that again. Sorry.
Just how will the game experience change with some of those players coming into the league?
Game experience. I mean, to be honest, I feel like games have always been exciting, but now these girls are bringing in a huger, like, crazy platform. So it's just more eyes on the talent that's already been there. And I'm glad that they're able to add their talent and experiences to the league now. And obviously it's helped. Like, having Angel here, they love her. And I think even just speaking as a teammate, I love that I get to see her as a person and, not just what people think she is. She's great. So to have that on top of, like, her willingness is to help everybody and learn and listen and just to grow, I think it's been amazing to see.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Howdy.
Start with my cues.
What is this? Oh.
Hey, Diamond, I just wanted to follow up. I just talked to E and Dana about it. Candace Parker just named the president of Adidas Women's Basketball. What does that mean for you, not only as a former friend and a teammate of hers, but just as a woman in sports to have someone like her in the building?
I think that it is amazing that she has earned her way, to having a title like that, because it's another one of those glass shattering things for women in sports, for her to have that type of role at a brand as big as Adidas. And I hope that it just, again, opens a door, as Candace has done so many times before, for women to follow suit and be put in those types of positions with other sports brands, because who else has really the knowledge to lead and guide a woman's department other than a female athlete. So I'm fully confident in her ability to execute and take Adidas women's basketball to new heights.
Diamond, you played briefly with Dana in 2021 on that championship team, and now to come back, just what growth have you seen from her so far from that time to now?
Yeah, I just, I'm really proud of Dana. I was here Dana's rookie year. And in terms of growth, I just think that she's just a lot more poised on the court with the basketball. And watching her grow into more of a vocal leader has been really impressive. And I'm really proud of all the work that she's put in and how she's been able to position herself, to be in the role that she's in now.
Chris.
Diamond, Chris Pennon with CSGO. Could you just talk about, I know it was a preseason game with season ticket holders, so it wasn't the same kind of crowd, but could you just talk about what it was like coming back to play in this gym on the home side?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like it was like a dream, for me to be back here. I kind of envisioned the moment happening, and it just brings nothing but joy to my heart to be back in a Sky uniform in this city, because I believe we have the greatest fan base in the league, and I think that when you get an opportunity to play here, it's really special. So I'm really grateful to be back.
Hi, Diamond, Brianna. I'm kind of curious. Everybody's been that has come in here have been saying that Teresa's been kind of great at building kind of a family culture around the Sky. Kind of curious, for either of you, has there been any like specific stories of Teresa kind of welcome you into the team and kind of making you feel like the Sky is a family?
I think she just comes in with a great perspective as being a former player. So I think she tries to implement things that she didn't have as a player and things she also enjoys as a player. So I think as a coach, she's just like really has like a player first mindset in everything she does for us.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that I think maybe my first or my second day after meeting Teaspoon, I just finished a workout and I was sitting down, like taking my shoes off. And again, we just met like 48 hours ago. And she and the entire staff came up to me and they prayed for me. And that was really special because obviously it means a lot to have a coaching staff who kind of would pray for you, whether you're religious or not. So from that moment on, she's been very consistent in that behavior. And so to your point, she has done just that and made it really feel like a place you can call home.
Diamond. So, obviously the rookies adjusting from, the draft, obviously NCAA ball, and then now to the start of the season. How have you guys gone about helping the rookies kind of adjust to this level, the speed of the game, life being in the league as opposed to, the college level? How have you guys, kind of, help that kind of be brought along?
I think I've been trying to tell them to enjoy the moment. I think now with social media, everything can be so fast and so many voices and people have so many opinions. But in the day, I try to tell them to just like enjoy this moment. You just went through 2 preseason games. We have our first road games next week against Dallas. So really just stay in the moment and don't look too far ahead. Just stay in the present.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm just agreeing with what Breezy said.
Hey, Diamond. Angel obviously came in the league with a big following, right, on social media, and people knew who she was. What did you think of the opportunity she got like the other day to do that, to go to practice, go to the Met Gala, then come back and play? It's just such an interesting thing.
These new kids, man, they got it made. No, I think Angel is unique. She's incredibly unique in that. And I think that is really cool that she got that opportunity to go to the Met Gala. I mean, I'm still waiting on my invite, honestly. But I think that it's amazing. It's great for the league. It's great for her and her brand. So I'm all about Angel's extracurriculars because honestly, I just think it's incredible.
This is for either of you to answer. For the past 14 years, the WNBA average free throw percentage has been higher than the NBA free throw percentage. And Diamond, I'll actually ask you, just because you're an 80+% free throw shooter your whole career. What's your reaction to that stat, and why do you think you've personally been able to be such a consistent free throw shooter?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, I guess I'm kind of surprised by it, because a free throw seems like just it would be a high percentage shot. You know, and for whatever reason, we have a higher free throw percentage. Maybe it has something to do with just a little bit more attention in terms of fundamentals. But yeah, I think, you know, we both work on free throws every day. Like, it's just a part of how we train and prepare. And, you know, I'm glad the numbers reflect that.
Hi, Diamond. I'm Noah. This is obviously a big year for you, coming back from injury, coming back to Chicago. What are your personal expectations for yourself this season?
I don't have any expectations. I'm pretty removed from the expectations. I think that the way that I approach each day is just to do my best, and to have fun, because tomorrow truly isn't promised. So just making the most of every opportunity, coming to practice with the right attitude, with the right mindset, and trying to share that energy and have that energy be something that my teammates and coaches can also feel and benefit from.
For Brianna, Chris Penn, CHGO. Taya talked about being able to play with Lindsay, Marina, and yourself as Notre Dame grads. What's that experience like for you, having those players who not only either you played with or went through the same system as, playing on the same team?
I think it's really exciting uniting with college teammates. I mean, I was in a different system now, playing under Teaspoon, but it's kind of funny, just like we wouldn't have thought when we were at school that 5 years, 6 years later, we'd be on the same WNBA team. So I think it's just cool seeing my college teammates have success at the next level as well.
Questions? Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And the players with
Check it, everybody quiet. Is this classroom or something? Let me get out this class. I'm not teaching it. All right.
Hi, Coach. I'm over here. So we learned today a lot of the players, many of them were talking about how great you are as a coach, and how more specifically that they feel like they can be themselves, and that you help enhance that something they haven't felt before. So what does that mean to you? What kind of emotions does that bring up for you?
A lot, because I want them to be who they are. I don't want them to be anyone other than, I want to coach who you are. And they know that. It's great to hear what they have to say and what they see and hear when I speak in that way. But I want them to be who they are so we can move from there. I want to know them as a person. It's important for me to have a relationship with each player. I want to know what makes you go. I want to know what your why is. So it makes it easier for me to keep you there, to hold you accountable to it. And they know that I have their back. They know that I'm going to push you to be the best version of yourself every single day, no matter what. And it makes it easier to coach them because I can come from a most difficult place because they know I have your back. It makes it easier once you have a relationship to have the most difficult conversations.
Coach, Chris Penn with CHGO. You came from playing in a different generation of ball to now, where the announcement came out about charter flights. There's been players already discussing what they want to have changed in the next CBA. You're not in that union necessarily, but can you talk about what you would like or would have liked to see for the players with your history coming through college, coming through the WNBA at its early days to now?
Well, I have to be very careful with that conversation. I would love to answer that for you, but I have to be very careful with that conversation. So I'll just say this. I like to see the growth. The growth has been absolutely amazing. and it's only going to be better. It's only going to get better. We have the right young women assembled in this league, a great deal of talent in this league, and I think everyone knows the direction that this league will go. So I'm not going to move any further in that conversation. Yeah, I hope everyone understands and respect that. Thank you.
Hi, Coach. Connor Olson.
Hey, Connor.
Northwestern University. I'm kind of building off the first question. How does empowering players and empowering a team help them unlock their full potential and play to their best? And then building off of that, in what ways do you think the Sky are going to surprise people on the court this season?
There's a level of confidence that goes in that. When, I think when you say empowering others, I believe that the empowerment is already there. It's about pulling it out. How do I pull it out? I wouldn't say that I empower anyone. It's just my job to pull that out, and pulling it out with them understanding there's a great deal of confidence that you have to play with. And that's where I stand as a head coach, is pulling out that empowerment for them to carry themselves in a life of confidence, believing in themselves, knowing who they are, and going and getting the job done. It's big. It's a big piece that you have to have as a head coach to do that.
Hi, Teresa. The average free throw percentage in the WNBA has been higher than the average free throw percentage in the NBA for the past.
You're okay. Don't worry about it. Thanks.
For the past 14 seasons. So I was just curious to get your thoughts on that, just your initial reaction and why you think that might be the case.
I'm not big on comparing, going from one side to the other. I had an opportunity to coach both sides. It's all about reps. If you want to talk about the game, talk about percentages, it's all about your reps. No matter what you do, it's all about your reps. And one thing I know that we do here in Chicago with the Chicago Sky is we're all about our reps. But in that rep, it's how you're conducting yourself in the rep. What is your mindset? If you miss one, what's your approach? What is your approach? So everything is all about your mindset on if you miss one, what do we do with the next one? But the reps are so important to try to get that percentage back up.
Hey, Coach, Dominic Faria.
Hey, Dominic.
Yeah, good to meet you. I wanted to ask about Chennedy specifically.
Yeah.
I know you came in, last fall, and how long was she on your radar before you ended up, signing her to that contract in February? And was it anything to do with that 51-point game that she put up in November?
I've been knowing Chennedy since she was at Texas A&M. Played for Gary Blair, who was a coach of mine at Louisiana Tech. So I've been knowing her a very, very long time. A talented young lady, very, very talented. And when I recognized that she was no longer in the league and she was playing overseas, I wanted to make sure to pull her in, to reel her in, to see where she is with her gift, because she's gifted, she's talented. And she knows the one thing about me, there's no judgment. There's no judgment. I think every one of us in here know what life is and how life can crumble sometimes, but who's going to give a hand to lift someone? And Chennedy, when I tell you all, she's an amazing young lady, experienced a lot, and has grown from a lot. And all she wants to do is play this game of basketball. All she wants to do is share her gift with everybody that's watching. And she's gifted, and we're pretty lucky to have her here on this team the way that she's playing.
Hi, Coach. I'm Jasmine Thomas.
Where you at, Jasmine?
I'm right here.
Hi, Jasmine.
How did you know that you could trust Angel Reese to go to the Met Gala and still perform at yesterday's game?
Great question. How did I know I could trust Angel Reese? Angel does angelic stuff. So I knew that she understands how to prioritize. She knows how to take great care of herself. She gave us everything that she had in practice. She got out and left, did what she had to do, and she got back that night and then practiced and shoot around with great amount of energy. Probably the loudest one in shoot around. She knows how to prioritize, and that's a key word for who she is. And I think a lot of times with who she is, who Kamilla is, and how they've handled themselves with this stardom, no one pays attention to that. No one pays attention to how a 21, 22-year-old young lady has handled themselves, especially in the media, and the things that might have been said, the things that have been done, things that have been spoken about you that probably weren't as true as it should have been, or it's unbelievably false, how they've handled themselves. And it makes a tremendous difference of how you handle yourself in these situations. So when you see someone that young handling themselves in that way, you know what you have. You know what you have, and she knows how to prioritize, and she knew what was important. She earned that. She earned that opportunity to go. And me as her head coach was not going to take that away from her. But she knew what was expected of her the moment she arrived back.
Teresa, for Dana, this is a huge opportunity for her. Her starting last night, and just having the opportunity to play more than she has in prior seasons. What have you liked from her through camp, and as a former point guard, what have you seen from her in terms of her growth in her game as a leader?
Dana can do whatever Dana wants to do on that floor. But the one thing she understands is as a playmaker, she has to facilitate first, conduct the show first, and then inject yourself. And as you saw last night, she was incredible. Absolutely incredible. She was unpredictable. And when you're an unpredictable athlete, it's very difficult to defend. A great leader. She's learning how to be an incredible leader, how to lead the team, knowing who to go to, when to. And that's a huge part of being in that point guard position. We trust Dana. Everyone trusts Dana. And we're excited about where she is. And I will say this about Dana, that I've learned a lot about her is how strong she really is. Because from day one getting here, and I know she shared it, but I'll share it, is she was going through some things. And to come back and be in camp with us, that says a lot about who she is and where she wanted to be.
Hey, Coach. Steven with CHGO Sports. How you doing today?
I'm awesome. How about you?
Great. I'm great.
Awesome.
I remember our first conversation after your introductory. You talked about your time with the Liberty at the inception of the league. How you say you spent time in each borough to become one with the city and the culture. And you said you plan on doing the same here with Chicago. I'm curious, where are you with that, and kind of what are a few words that you feel are synonymous with the city that your team can exude?
Well, I did something all by myself, getting out into the city, and I decided to take me a little boat tour. And I actually did it at the wrong time. It's pretty cool. Did it at the wrong time, but I got an opportunity to get out and to hear about the city. I got to hear about, for some people, it might not mean anything, but these things mean something to me. Just about hearing about the buildings, it meant a lot to me. And in one building, these two buildings, I can't quite remember exactly what, but I'm gonna remember this. But instead of it was probably 60 years apart of the building, 60 years apart of these two buildings. And as this other building was built 60 years later, instead of what we would say was disrespectful to that building, you really changed it. It was a compliment to the building. And that's what we want to do. Is there's a great deal of history here, a great deal of sports history here. All we want to do is compliment that. We don't want to compete against it. We want to complement that. And that's what I learned on my boat ride, is just that building, those two buildings, 60 years apart, didn't compete against one another to get a little movement or to get a little space. They complemented one another. And that was big. When I saw that, I said, this is excellent for me today. That was one lesson that I've learned already, is how this city was complementing instead of competing. And we don't want to do that with history. We want to complement it. We want everybody to begin to speak about it again, be able to speak about it again with us being spoken about in it as well.
Hey, Coach, appreciate the time. Everybody today from top to bottom has talked about what the culture is here and how you've established it so quickly. And I know Diamond got a little emotional talking about the prayer circle that you had with your staff with her when you first met, or a little bit after you just met her, all the way from Angel, saying the impact you've had and how familiar it is to Mulkey. Who are those people for you that have kind of taught you how to build a culture like this and allowed you to be a leader amongst men and women?
This comes from home. This comes from my mom, my dad. I'm the baby of 6. I learned a lot from our upbringing. I'm not ashamed to share my life. Came from humble beginnings. And prayer is what we knew. Prayer is what got us through. And that's what I share. I'm obedient. I'm obedient to what I'm told to do. And with these young ladies, when they're going through, I know it has helped me. And I want to do what I must do to help them. And I get emotional when it comes to them because they mean a lot to me, and our young people go through a lot. But how do we help? How do we help? And that's the most important thing to me. And I will protect each one of them in every way I possibly can, because they deserve it. And they're young, they're growing. Mistakes are going to be made. We all did it. But how do we help? How do we help? It's the most important thing to me.
Hey, Two-Swan. Mike Berman from NBC5. Good to see you. For you and Angel and Kamilla stepping in together to the organization, how would you describe the opportunity that you guys have to kind of write your own story with the Sky and hopefully take them from where they are now to a place you want to go?
You just said it best. We want to write our own story. You just said it the best that you could possibly say it, and we just want to write our own story. We have two incredible young women they've come from great programs. They're champions. They're winners. They know what it takes, and they know what it looks like, and they know how to carry themselves. You know, greatness looks different. Greatness speaks different, and we always speak about this. If you want to be good, this is the wrong team to be on, because a lot of people are on that path. But if you're on the path to greatness, you won't find very many. But hopefully you find us. And with those two, you'll find them.
Hey, Coach. Earlier when we were talking Chennedy, she talked about this stage of her career. She's better mentally now and going through the chapters of her life. And there's a few players on this roster too that have gone through a lot to get here. And when it comes to just aiding that mental side of it in a league that's really unforgiving with roster spots and how difficult it is to be here, how as a coach do you aid that mental side of their game?
Well, I pay attention to that. I pay close attention to that. And like I said earlier, you know, there's no judgment here with me. None at all. I think many people that goes through life go through some things, and sometimes there's not a second chance given. I don't even see this second chance given. I'm just giving the opportunity for you to do what you need to do to live the life you want to live, and that's my approach to everything. Just make sure that you're living the life that you want to live with the opportunity given. And Chennedy is grasping this thing, you all, and she's running with it. She's running with it. She has a great group of young women who she's surrounded with, who loves her. We all love her. We just want to see the best. We want to see the best for every one of them on the team. Everyone on the team want to see the best for them. This is their dream. This is their dream. This is their dream. So we got to take them there. We got to let them live it. Got to let them live it. Let them see it. Let them feel it.
Hey, Coach. Hey, Coach. Kamilla and Angel were maybe the more talked about draft picks of the Sky, but what kind of impact can Brynna Maxwell make if she makes the roster?
You all, that is one of the most competitive players you will ever meet. Her injury, she played through it. She played through the injury because she wanted to make this team. She's strong-willed. The first thing she said to all of us is, nobody here will outwork me. No one here will outwork me. She has that mentality. She has an incredible gun. We call it a gun. She can shoot it. She can shoot lights out. She's a sharpshooter. What she does for us when she steps on the floor is she stretches the floor for us. It makes it difficult for teams to have to leave her. You can't leave her. Matter of fact, you can't. I don't think many teams will. She brings that to us, being able to stretch the floor, being able to shoot the ball from behind the arc, which that's where the game is anyway, where the game is played. But she's a sharpshooter. She's very consistent behind the line.
Hi, Teresa. I'm Noah. How does having a brand new roster here in Chicago either make it easier or harder for you to establish the culture that you want for this team?
It makes it a little easier because everyone's new. Everyone's looking to find out what is that culture, what is our identity. And so it makes it a little bit easier to put it out there. And the one thing they do know is that when we all speak about what our culture is, when you look at our young ladies, that is the culture. That is the culture. It's the heartbeat. They are the heartbeat of what this culture looks like. So when you hear them talk, when you hear them speak, you hear the culture. That's the culture. I am one lucky coach to be able to coach a group of young women like them, very articulate. They handle themselves very well. And when they step between those four lines, they're going to compete. And that's all I can ask for. I appreciate every one of you all being here. I want us to continue to see your face. Don't leave us. Stay ready. Stay geared up. A lot to come.
Questions?
Wow. Crickets.
Hi, Lindsay. All right, so I was talking to Marina about this a couple weeks ago. I asked about you and Dana at the point guard position. She kind of said you guys are kind of polar opposites, the way you play, the styles you have. Can you just talk about a little what that's like playing with her and the kind of the two energies, the two games you guys bring?
Yeah, I think it's exciting being on the same team as Dana this season. Obviously playing against her for a few seasons or a few years in this league. Just a big fan of her game. I love how she plays. I love the style she plays with, the attitude she brings, the energy, the passion she brings. And so it's just like about figuring out like how to work together. And I think we've done a good job of that these first couple of weeks of training camp. But you know, we're both point guards, and so we see the game in the same way. So we're always talking about what we see, what Teaspoon wants, you know, about like different players on this team, what we can run for them. So it's very much a collaborative effort between me and Dana.
And Lindsay, I'm Dominic. I just wanted to ask, how has it been for you playing with this specific group of guards that you have on this roster? I know you've been in a few places around the W, and maybe playing with somebody specifically like Chennedy and her skill set with scoring, but also the speed that she plays at.
Yeah, just a very exciting group that we have across like our 1s, 2s, and 3s, with Mick included in that group as well. Just so much versatility. We just have everything that you can need in the guard group, with speed, shooting, with Marina, strength, activity, with Mick and Diamond on the wings as well. It's just very exciting. We're going to be a hard team to guard, and that's kind of what we want, but also we want to be a hard team to play against on defense. And so that's kind of what we have as well. So I'm excited to kind of keep building with the squad and just kind of seeing how far we can take it, and just kind of build up throughout the standings in this league.
Hey guys, appreciate the time. Welcome to Chicago. Michaela, I was just curious. Last season, we were all sitting here dealing with so many injuries from Izzy and E, everybody getting banged up from the forward and big perspective. To have so many bigs and so many great forwards in this lineup right now, from Kamilla to Izzy to E to yourself, and obviously Angel, what does that mean for you to be able to pick the brain of so many other greats in the building?
I mean, it's great. Although it's my 4th year, I still feel like I'm learning new things every single year. So to lean on my vets like Izzy and Ewell, in that group who have been here for a while, even Breezy, it's year 6 for her. It's been great. They give me insight, especially playing a little bit undersized at my position at times. They just give me little tidbits about what to do, best positions to be in, and it's just been very encouraging to be a part of that group.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm good. My first question is going to be for Michaela. So we talked about shortly after the signing, how your versatility and how you can't be put in a box was an asset. I was curious, how has Coach Weatherspoon embraced and really kind of implored you to, put that stamp on the team and your role?
Yeah, I think just trusting me to be in both positions where I'm playing the 3 and the 4. And in Minnesota, I played a lot of the 3. In this game, I played a lot of the 4. And so just to see that trust that she has in me, and confidence that she has as well. And just even in our warm up before the game, in Minnesota, I was doing all post-up stuff. And then against the last game, I was doing all guard stuff. And so just to have that versatility is super important for me, but it's also important for our team and where we're at. I'm able to be put in different positions, help my team in any way that I can.
Hey guys, appreciate the time. Sean Graney, Northwestern Medill. So obviously the rookies coming in with, playing from college level to the draft, now playing, in the WNBA. How have you guys helped them kind of, adjust to the speed of the game, life in, the league, that time frame is kind of a, quick turnaround for, the rookies, things like that.
Yeah, I think we're always communicating with them and just talking to them about stuff we see, but they're also talking to us about stuff they may see. And they're very open-minded and just receptive to everything. But yeah, they've been killing it so far. They kind of came in with great energy, just knew how to play the game of basketball, which is great, of course. But just their energy across the board has been really good, and we're just excited to have them. We have a really good group of rookies, and just excited to kind of get them integrated into what we like to do on offense and defense.
Yeah, just to echo what Lindsay said, not only just on the basketball side, but also off of the court as well. Like, coming from college and coming straight to the pros is not easy. Like, you have like 2 weeks to figure stuff out. And so that's on us as teammates to help them out. And so I've tried to be very diligent about texting them, making sure they need anything. They can ask me. Always asking in practices, do you have any questions? I might not know the answer all the time, but I can try to figure it out and ask for you. And so just trying to be that
person that they can lean on. They know that I can, along as everybody else, is people that they can really lean on, especially during this really hard transitional period.
Hi, Lindsay. I'm Noah. You're now entering year 7 in the league after coming in as a second-round pick. What is it that's been the driving success to allow you year in and year out to come back, starting from where you started?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just being relentless. And I don't think it's anything that's like in terms of just being more outgoing or being more expressive in that way. I think it's just never giving up. I think it's going in every day, putting the work in, doing what you need to do, trying to improve, trying to be a good teammate, as always. But I think it's just like keep going. When in doubt, good games, good seasons, bad seasons, injuries, we all have them. But just knowing that like, the sun's going to come up tomorrow. You're going to have another opportunity, another chance to play better, play well, another chance to score the ball, whatever you want to do on the court. Just knowing that like there will be more opportunities and really just taking advantage of them whenever you get them. You never know when they're going to come. If they're ever come, you just never know. So just being ready and being prepared at all times.
That was so inspiring.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
All right, I had a quick question for Lindsay. So looking at the just general women's college basketball realm, South Carolina known for having elite posts, UConn, elite guards, other schools, Tennessee, elite posts.
Go Irish.
What makes Irish guards unique, and what gives them a different type of staying power and uniqueness in the W?
I think for a lot of the guards in the league now, it started with Coach McGraw and also with Neil, who was our assistant back in college, who's now the head coach, as you know. I think it started with those two, with Coach McGraw as the head coach, Neil as the assistant. And I think the way they recruit, what kind of guards they look for, it's not really like what guard is putting up the most points in high school or what guard, is ranked the highest. They're actually going to high school games and seeing how they react with their teammates, how they react to their coaches, their body language, all sorts of stuff. And I think they do a good job of just kind of putting the pieces together and what they need. So, you have the Skylers and you have the Jules, you have the Enriques, but you also have the Marinas, the Jackies, and now you have, the Olivias, the Hannahs. So I think they just do a really good job of recruiting and knowing who will fit well within their offense and within, their program.
Chris Pennant with CHGO. This question's for both of you. Having come into the league when you both did, Lindsay 2017, Michaela 2021.
Oof.
And
You're old.
I was going to say 2019. I was like, hold on.
You came in the league when I graduated.
just seeing how the changes have come in, both from when you both came in to now, how the growth's been and kind of exponentially started growing this year. Where do you see that going into the future, and how has that changed? How have you both experienced that change?
Yeah, well, I've had a little bit less time than Lindsay, but I mean, you even see it, the charter flights.
Yeah.
Charter flights. Like, I'm super excited about that. But just the excitement of basketball, women's basketball specifically, has just skyrocketed. I mean, I'm seeing things on Twitter that I've never even seen before. Just the excitement. People are so excited to watch our game. They're eager to watch our game. They know women's basketball players' names first, before even men's players, which is just like the barometer has definitely changed. And I'm so excited. I'm so blessed that I'm able to be a part of this kind of movement. But I just get to hope it continues to grow. Shout out to people like, Caitlin and Angel, who have kind of pushed the needle and pushed where women's basketball is for right now. And I can hope it continues to grow.
Questions? All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Good to see everybody.
Sure.
Start with Brian.
Well, for questions, we're going to start with Brian T. Marla.
Oh, sorry.
Hey Jeff, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Glad, likewise. So at the draft, you were talking about the championship DNA that Kamilla and Angel brought to the table. When you look at the roster as a whole, what are just your initial thoughts?
As far as how they fit in, I mean, they're perfect for us. They checked a lot of boxes as far as coming from winning programs. They had a ton of success. We're looking for players that were going to be able to come in and impact, the game immediately, impact practice immediately. we wanted good leaders. We wanted, again, winning players. And they've been as good as advertised.
Hey, Jeff, appreciate the time. I know we talked about on Angel's introduction about Marvin Harrison Jr. and what the Bears were going to do. Ended up getting Caleb in Rome, and a lot of people believe that this is going to be one of the best years for Chicago sports, bringing in Angel and Kamilla as well. So how do you think that's going to pan out 10 years from now? Would you agree that this is going to be one of the best draft classes?
Yeah, I mean, especially from where we started, from our, side of things. I mean, we had no first round picks, and to end up getting two players that, I think we all figured out the next morning what we really had done outside of the basketball, side of things. But, like I've told everybody, these were basketball first decisions. They are really special players. They haven't scratched the surface yet, as far as what they can do and who they can be. And you saw a little bit with Kamilla in the Minnesota game, and then Angel these last couple games. I mean, they can impact the game. Just with their effort alone, their speed alone. I mean, these are highly competitive players that have a long way to go, but they know it. They're here to grow. So yeah, we feel very excited about what this could end up being long term with both of them.
Hi, Jeff. I'm Noah. The organization made a bit of a splash this off season. Obviously trading Kalia, bringing back Diamond, and then drafting Angel and Kamilla. But projections haven't landed favorably for you guys. So I guess my question for you is, where do you personally see the team now, as opposed to trying to fight for a championship versus building for the future? And what is the balance on your side of things?
Yeah, obviously, we've talked about it ad nauseum. Trading Pagliocca, had to end up happening. We were able to put ourselves in a place to rebuild the draft capital. And get the diamonds back and draft the Camillas, the Angels, the Brynnas. Look, we know where people see us. I think we love it. They're all bought into people's perspectives of us, and I don't think you're going to see anything different than what you saw last night or in Minnesota. We're going to give it 1,000%, and if that's where they want to place us, then so be it. But I see what we do at practice every day.
Hi, Jeff. You came out of this most recent draft with a lot of defense and a lot of rebounding. What team identity are you trying to build in Chicago, and how does Coach Weatherspoon help develop that?
Yeah, we went after players that fit, how her vision was, as far as the effort, the energy, the speed. Obviously she's a defensive-minded point guard, as a player, but we have a lot of players that were already here, that fit into the narrative as well. And we want to play, we want to play fast. We want to be a great defensive team. We want people to feel us, when the game starts. We want them to know if they're coming in here, it's going to be the same thing as us going out there, is they're going to feel the best version of all the effort that we're putting in practice every single day. And in all reality, like if the games are over and we've put 1,000% out there, then we feel great. And I think that's what we're seeing every single day. And, incrementally, there's been improvements.
John, Robbie.
Hey, Jeff. The big news yesterday in the league was obviously the charter flights and that. What kind of communication have you guys had with the leagues on how that's going to work? And, how much, obviously the players are pretty excited about it. What have you heard from them?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was the first, it really got to us as well. We don't have a ton of details, but everybody's happy for obvious reasons. I think the players and teams have been fighting for this for some time. So to finally hear what we heard yesterday, players are thrilled, they're relieved. But there's not a ton of details that have come our way yet, but I mean, it happened pretty quickly. So we're assuming, we'll be happy to share more details as soon as we have them.
And just real quick, I know Cardoso, you guys have said, I think 6 to 8 weeks. As far as a timeline, do you think you can get her back for that kind of late June stretch where you've got, the fever and you've got and the aces coming in?
Yeah, I mean, our hope there is 4 to 6 weeks. We'll reevaluate, in a few weeks, but she's going to be fine. We're expecting her to be back very healthy and ready to roll.
Hi, Jeff. Kind of an offbeat question for you here, but
sure.
The past 14 seasons, the average free throw percentage of the WNBA has been higher than the NBA in every single one of those seasons. What do you make of that data, and why do you think that trend has kind of...
What is it? That's interesting.
For the past 14 years, the average free throw percentage in the WNBA has been higher than the NBA.
because women are better than men. I really don't know. That was my field for a long time. I'm gonna have to do some work. We're gonna talk about this because now I'm really intrigued. I can't answer it, because when I was training, the women and the men, I worked them out the same way, so I can't. I love it. I'm gonna give it some thought.
What's going on, Jeff? How you doing? So I talked my first conversation with Teresa. She was speaking to one in the field or roster in the team that was synonymous with the city they played in. Obviously, with you being kind of the puppet master behind pulling the strings on things, do you feel you all were successful in that? And just what are your general observations of the level of skill and versatility that you all have added to this roster?
Yeah, when we met for the first time, Coach and I realized very quickly how aligned we really were with how we saw the game and how we wanted to play, and it's allowed us to go after the same types of players. We've said a lot. We want to have a lot of energy. We always wanted to bring an exciting product, to the city. We know we have amazing fans. We're seeing it already. Obviously, the ticket sales are incredible. There's a lot of eyes on us, even regardless of where the world sees us as a team right now. But, we've got skilled players, we have versatile players, and our rookies are really into improving, So, we have a staff built on player development, and we're hitting it every single day. And like I said, there's just a lot of versatile pieces here already. And, in a few years from now, it'll be very interesting to see how far the rookies have come. Or we have a lot of youth on the roster. So the more work we put in every day, the more, skill set improves and stuff like that. So it'll be exciting as we go.
Jeff, Chris Penn, CSGO, good to talk to you again. Last night's game was about as best as it could go for a preseason game. First question, were you able to get any feedback just from the crowd or the people assembled season ticket holders on what their thoughts were last night and what their thoughts have been on the team? And then when Stephen and I were able to talk to you in the winter, you talked about how things had progressed for you on the job. Like, how's that progression been in the intervening months since?
Well, yeah, as far as yesterday, it obviously went about as good as it could have gone. We ran a team out of the gym that had all their people in place. We understand it's a preseason game. We're treating everything like a real game, so we didn't go into any preseason stuff, thinking other than winning. We were able to jump on them, build a lead, keep a lead. Everybody impacted the game. So yes, people after the game were very excited. We have perspective. We don't get too high, too low. We got a long way to go, but we're really happy with the group we put together. And as far as me personally, yeah, it was a huge adjustment early on. I did something for 25 years, and then I switched gears to do this. Like anything else, I surrounded myself with smart people here. We have a lot of really intelligent people in the organization, and just really studied the league fast. And I'm a lot more comfortable. The excitement is even more than it was. But we've done a lot in a short amount of time. That's given us a lot more attention. But we've improved as a basketball team along the way too. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud about the decisions we made.
Look, Jeff, I want to ask you about Brynna. So obviously everyone's always asked you about Angel and Kamilla, but Spoon mentioned that, hey, she told you guys no one was going to outwork her. And I observed the first week of training camp that she was like literally the last player off the court. So just can you give us your thoughts just on Brynna and what you've seen from her?
Yeah, she got hurt early in camp. She would have continued to play if we would have let her. She would be playing last night 40 minutes if we let her. I mean, she is exactly what we had hoped as far as that toughness is concerned. And she did. She stood up in front of everybody, said she was going to outwork them. She is outside of the shooting, the stuff that we spoke about earlier. I mean, she checks every character box, every toughness box, every teammate box. We are very excited that she's here, and she's in a tough spot too at the same time, with the knee. So it could be 3-4 weeks, but she's a specialist, and her energy, her toughness, her work ethic, it's very real and it's very consistent. Anybody can get in the gym and get a few shots up every other, every couple of days and stuff, but this is a daily thing. I think someone told me she was doing form shooting, on her crutches yesterday, which does not surprise me. So we have to keep her, off the court, So.
Hey, Jeff, along those lines, The Sky were in the top half of the league in 3-point shooting last year. With the additions you've made in free agency and the draft, do you think the team can repeat that?
Yeah, we need to. You got to be able to spread the floor. You know, adding Brynna is helpful. Diamond is helpful. Dana shoots the ball well. Marina shoots the ball well. Obviously, we shot the ball pretty well last night. I think we were over 40%. So we have to do it. You know, so if the statistics aren't there right now, they will be there, you know, when they need to be, because we understand the importance of it.
Hey, Jeff. When it comes to last night, Caleb Williams, Rome Dunze, Kobe White, a lot of Chicago young stars are at the game. And how do you see Angel and Kamilla kind of fitting into this new look, you know, Chicago sports scene with a lot of young stars and a lot of big brands?
Yeah, it's incredibly exciting that we had those people here. I mean, it says a lot. I mean, it's a preseason game. No one forces anybody to do anything. No, that was their choice. You know, I've heard from a lot of my ex-NBA clients about wanting to come and see games. It's an exciting time in the WNBA. It's not just here, it's everywhere. But with players that we drafted, they have a lot of attention, you know, and at the time, we just were looking for some size and athleticism, and we were looking for a difference maker on the boards at the same time. And we got a lot more, you know, as far as eyes on us and excitement. And those guys coming out last night, I mean, we're kind of infusing something a little bit different into the city that maybe wasn't expected. So it's we're riding the wave right now and just going to keep getting better every day.
Just a real quick follow-up. Dana Evans, hey, her evolution has been so insane, and you've been a part of that this whole way, from one of the last players on a championship team to one of the best two-way players in the league and one of the faces of the franchise. Can you kind of just attest to the work she's put in and what you've seen from her, not only this offseason, but over the last few years?
Yeah, good one. When she came in here, you know, she was obviously in a trade, and she came in as a scrappy guard, a young player with a chip on her shoulder. I think, you know, I've been around her for 4 years now. She's grown dramatically every step of the way, you know, behavior, work ethic, understanding of the game. It slowed down quite a bit. So what you guys see now is a better version of a good player. Her pace is much improved and evolved. She obviously can shoot the ball and get into her. She gets her spots very well, you know, and she wants to guard, she wants to defend, and she feeds off the energy that the staff has. And I think one of the biggest things about our team now is we have a lot of expectations from the coach, a lot of demands from the coach, and the players have met those at their energy levels, you know. So players like her are built for players like our coach. So she's getting better all the time, and she can do a lot, and she can play point guard for us. She can play off the ball a little bit, but she wants to compete, and so she fits exactly what we're trying to do. And it's impressive, you know, how far she's come. So,
Final question, Stephen.
One more quick one for you, Jeff. So, of course, you and Teresa share a thorough background in player development. And I think naturally that makes your eyes inclined to seeing things that other people might not see as an asset for your group. I was curious, with the staff that you all have compiled in that specific realm, what's your assessment of that, and how involved have you two been, obviously, in addition to those people doing their specific job as well?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, outside of what Coach and I have done, you know, with NBA players, pro players, we have an incredible basketball mind with Sidney Johnson, who was Division I head coach for a long time, who is very informed with analytics. So we use all of his skills. Crystal Robinson did a lot of shooting work with a number of players over the years. Tamara, you know, is not that far removed from being a player, so she can relate, you know, as a player, and then the game as well here. And our player development is strong. You know, we discuss it's daily meetings and discussions on how we're going to attack the players, you know, and it's been an exciting part of where we know our growth can be, because we have minds that are all excited about making sure that they're leaving their imprint, and we have different strengths, which is good. We don't have redundant pieces as far as knowledge on the staff, so we can make sure that everybody's getting their need.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I love it. I love it. We need you in here, so thank you.